NFL Week 5 and we're still alive. We're going to get into the Texans. Before I do, we're going to get into the legendary game on Sunday Night Football, Cowboys Steelers. But before I get started, appreciation and thanks to all the new subscribers. Appreciate it. We're slowly ticking and climbing up. Slowly, not rapid. Slowly ticking it up. So I appreciate that. So what do you do to show appreciation, to show thanks, support? Just hit the like button. Comment, subscribe, share. I haven't asked for y'all pocketbook yet. At least not yet. But what way to support is hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment, do all those little things. It's real small, cheap, and it's free. It is free. But to all the subscribers, appreciate it. Appreciate it. That's how you support. We ain't thousands in the game, but we hundreds. Hundreds will have to do for now. But the most important thing is getting the information out there, setting it straight, lining them up, letting them know, and hitting it out the park. So let's get into these Texans. And I'm going to tell you, this week, I don't want to say I was a little shaky, but as you know on my picks, I went against the Houston Texans this week. I just figured this is a kind of a semi-huge game. You know, all the health is not there as expected, probably on both sides. Haven't looked at the Buffalo Bills. Don't care about their injury report, but I care about the Texans. Going into this game, I knew it was going to be a knockout, drag out, and we're just hoping the penalties will lessen in this game. You don't shoot yourself in the foot. Well, I didn't get it all in one bag. There was still mistakes. Texas looked good coming out of the gate. Bills were stuck in mud. They couldn't get anything going, majority in that first half. But once they did, it got a little crazy. Now, I want to give shots out to that Texans defense. After the past 2 weeks, it was too much cushion, not paying attention to detail, wide receivers running free, you're reacting late. I'm giving you 5 stars this week. Because y'all closed the airspace, made it challenging, testing these receivers all over the place. Secondary was running with their hair on fire. And CJ Stroud throwing darts like he usually does. One mistake, the interception close to the end. Bad read, but it was a disguise by that linebacker. Shouts out to him. Playing 2 receivers at one time. Veering off one way, shooting back to the middle on the other. CJ Stroud is not perfect. CJ Stroud is not almighty, all world. He can make mistakes too. But the thing about it, clean them up. He's one of the best quarterbacks of coming back after a mistake, correcting it, and getting back in stride again. So shouts out to the Houston Texans. In years past, I know I keep going back with this team because I have to. I've been through the grind. I've been through the mixer. That's why I got to keep going back to remind people, to remind the fans of that heartache decades ago or years ago. I'm going to look at it because it's years and it's decades when it's coming to those Texans. Pages turned, okay? I have to keep going back like a storybook to show you where all this started, all right? So to come in this game against the Buffalo Bills, and to mention when the Texans way back in the day, the Oilers, I would say, would play the Buffalo Bills, knockout, drag-outs, but the Buffalo Bills always got the best of the Oilers. Jim Kelly, remember him? Used to slice these Oilers up, all right? A little bit of payback, not much, because they've been to 4 Super Bowls. We just trying to get in the door. But I'll tell you one thing, it won't take 4 trips to win 1. Or in Buffalo's case, none at all, right? So, great win. CJ Stroud coming off of that little small mistake. We can erase that. He had a hell of a game. Hell of a game. Figured out a way to get some kind of running game started. It kind of stalled early, but then it got stronger. Banging for 3, banging for 4 as the game got older. Bawale, outstanding. Who thought this guy would be leading the charge or getting most of the carries when Mixon went out? No, you'd be thinking Dameon Pierce, Cam Akers. No, it's Bawale. He's thick as grits. He's running through the mix, and he's giving the defense the fix. So yeah, guys stepping up when other players go down. Ugly game. A grind game. I don't want to say it was ugly. It wasn't uglier than last week, but it was a grind game. Slow grind. And when Buffalo started picking up the pace, Josh Allen started to make the throws he usually makes. His team starting to speed up a little bit. They started making a little run. That's when the nerves were starting to set in. Like, okay, now, it was nip and tuck. Let's not just let it loose. All right? Coming down the stretch. Getting in field goal range. The intentional grounding. I'm looking at that and I'm like, are you kidding me? Isn't that our luck? Getting down in position to kick a game-winning field goal to get an intentional grounding. It was right there. To not only not even attempt the field goal, but have to punt it off to the other team. I don't know what Buffalo was doing. I mean, I know Houston had all their timeouts, had them bagged up. They were trying to come out of there. They were throwing some bombs. But if I'm Buffalo, I'm thinking, I'm trying to get out of there. I'm just trying to get this thing to an overtime game. I'm not even trying to win this game. We're too bagged up. Too many things can go wrong. A fumble, safety, sack, interception. I'm trying to get out of this regulation alive. So you know what I would have done? I would have tried to pick up a first down, but I wouldn't have been trying to throw Hail Marys and bombs trying to get out of there. I'm going to throw some screens. I'm going to try to run the ball a little bit. I want that clock to tick. Not only that, I want the Texans to use up all their timeouts. If they're going to get this ball back, they're not going to have any timeouts left. That's what I'm thinking. Because they came off that ball way too quick. What they said, they only had the ball like 19 seconds. Got to do better than that. So this week on my weekly picks, that's one game I didn't mind dropping. It's that Bills and Texans. Huge win by the Texans. Defense was snarling. And what we were saying weeks prior, for some reason wasn't enough pressure on the quarterback. Texans got pressure this week. They got on Allen. They hurried him. They got him off rhythm, got him off his spot. That's why early in the game, the Texans was able to sustain what they had because they had Josh Allen rattled. They had him moving off his spot. They had him hurrying throws. They was putting him on the ground. All his throws were off. But you're not going to keep a good team down the whole game. Of course, they was going to gain momentum. That was going to make it interesting. But the main point of this, Texans held strong. This has been an unbelievable 5 weeks. You've seen everything from the Texans winning games in 5 weeks. They done won ugly. They done won sloppy. They done won pretty. They done won undisciplined. Finding ways to win ball games. You want to talk about a mark of a good team or a great team? Just got to be careful with great. People throw great around too freely. But a mark of a good team is you find ways to win ball games. Texans, for sure, have done that in these 5 weeks. In these 5 weeks, you've seen everything from this team. And they're not even sharp. They haven't even figured it all the way out yet. And to beat a team like Buffalo, you get big points for that. Big points. Cowboys, Steelers, historic rivalry on Sunday Night Football. What a doozy. It did not disappoint. The only disappointment is that the Cowboys pulled it out. That's the only disappointment. That's the only disappointment. But you know what? I got to give these Cowboys credit. Dak Prescott credit. This is a knockout dragout. Sometimes you don't need all the scoring in the world. You just need one of those knockout dragouts where it's tough to come by with points. Weather is nasty. Defense is snarling. Quarterbacks are falling, getting mud all over their jerseys. Passes are off on certain errant throws. Running backs are slipping and sliding. Balls flying all over the place. Pause. Just an outstanding game. And that last play on 4th down, my goodness. Last play on 4th down. I'm sitting there, man. I'm like, Steelers can get this one. All you got to do is one more stop. One more stop. Who would have thought? Everybody in that stadium knew this ball was going to CD Lamb. That's why I want to give the Cowboys credit. I want to give Dak Prescott credit. That ball should have been going to CD Lamb. Everybody knew it. And if it would have went to CD Lamb, more than likely they would have lost. Steelers would have had all 11 men on CD Lamb if he'd have threw it to him. The whole team would have been covering CD Lamb. They drew up something else, a drag play to Tolbert. Is that his name? Tolbert? I believe. Dragged him across that line of scrimmage. See, a lot of things happened on that play. For number one, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you don't want Dak Prescott having that much time in the pocket for a guy to drag across the football field on the goal line. For Dak Prescott just to throw him a dart and right on the money. Right at the stripe, right at the plank, crossing the plank of the goal line for a touchdown. That's big time. Big time by Dak Prescott. Big time for him trusting another wide receiver besides CeeDee Lamb in that situation. Great call from Mike McCarthy. Give him credit. This is a big game for the Cowboys. Cowboys lose this game. Man, the ink would have been on some pink slips. It wouldn't have been signed, but the ink would have been on the pink slips. You hear me? Just in case. He'd have just slid it right up on his file cabinet, just waiting for the end of the season or the turmoil to continue. You know what I mean? He'd had it right there, Jerry Jones. Because that man there be putting his life on the line up in that press box, hanging every ounce of himself on every play on the field. Man be on life support up there. So a great win for the Cowboys. It went against my pick. That's another one I lost. Steelers, you had it right there. Right there. But when you're playing rivalry games and you put it all on the line, all it takes is one play. Game of inches. Game of inches. We're going to get into the Houston Texans press conference. Won't take long on it, then we'll get into the scoreboard a little bit, but we're going to listen to DeMeco Ryans, C.J. Stroud over the victory. See what they think about it, see how they feeling, but like I say, we're not going to stay on it long. I think it's 48 minutes. We're not going to sit through it for 48 minutes, so bear with me. So Houston Texans press conference.
These are the type of games you find out who you are as a team. Like Buffalo is an outstanding team, well-coached team, much respect for them, all their players, the way they play, like nothing but respect for them, a tough opponent. So to beat a team like this, like at the end of the day, you want to score more points than the other team, man. It doesn't matter how you get it done. So I'm proud of our guys for gutting it out. And like I said again, like it wasn't all pretty. That's how games go. It's about how you finish at the end, and I'm proud of the way our guys finished.
Amen to that.
First off, Chris Boyd seems to be getting better and better every week. What is he doing to get better? And you mentioned downing that last punt at the 2-yard line, which he downed it. How big a play was that?
That play was huge, getting the punt down there. I think D. Ross and Boyd were there making that play. Chris he's continued to play his technique. That's the one thing he had to focus on, just play cleaner for us and play his technique. And when you just play your technique and you do what you're supposed to do, be what you're supposed to be, you'll make plays for us.
The rookies, Caleb Bullock and Kamari Lassiter, they had some good moments today. Also had some rookie moments. What's some of the lessons that they can take from today's game to keep progressing as young NFL players?
And Kamari and Caleb have been playing outstanding for us. I really love both of those guys and what they're doing as young players. They don't flinch. No matter what happens, they don't flinch. They keep battling. They play the game the right way, and I love having both of those guys back there.
Just kind of an update on Nico and what does it mean to, because you've mentioned before, When you play your own team, you want to get that win. What can you say about, you got to be able to get the win for Diggs going against this former team?
Yeah, we're really happy for Diggs. We know how important this win was for him. We know how important this week was for him. Anytime you're going against your old team, like a lot of guys knew we had to get this.
That's another thing. Almost forgot about that. Diggs playing his former team. So I'm glad Diggs got this win, got this victory. Like you say, you got to know how that feeling is when you go back and you play the old team that got rid of you, whether you left on good terms or bad terms. You always want to beat the team you used to play for. He got big catches. He made yardage. So he stuck it to him. And to get the win at the end of the day, can't get nothing better than that.
Listen for Diggs. Try not to make a big deal out of it throughout the entire week. But we know it, right? It's emotional. Like all the great things that he did there, right? As a receiver, as a player, like he stood out, man, and he made a lot of plays. He helped that team in some critical moments and down the playoff run. So, man, no bigger game for him than this one. He hit today for us, and he made some really big catches on third down to keep drives moving. Like play after play, Diggs stepped up and made plays. So I'm happy for him that we were able to get this win for him. And then the update there on Nico. Nico on the long passing touchdown. He has felt his hammy grab, so he has a hammy. We'll evaluate him day to day.
Yeah, and that's tough, especially when it comes to hamstrings. Day to day, week to week, it just depends. But definitely got to get him back in the lineup.
What I say to CJ is I'm proud of you. Like, so proud of him because it's easy to see the negative plays, right? It's easy to see the turnovers, and everybody knows nobody hurts more when that ball is turned over than CJ. He feels really bad about it, but man, you keep punching, you keep battling, and that's why I'm so proud of him. Like in those moments, a lot of guys can tuck their head and feel sorry, but when we needed a play there at the end to get a few more yards, CJ stepped up. Our play wasn't there, so he improvised and found Darray just to get us a few more yards so Emi can kick the field goal. So I'm so proud of CJ and just his growth throughout this entire year.
Speaking of Darray, can you talk about what he meant? I mean, I know you want to get Joe back, but
We'll leave it right there. But like she was saying, want to get Joe Mixon back. You better believe we want to get him back. We'll try to hold the fort down until he gets back. I don't know. Next week, week after that, after a bye, I don't know. It seemed like that ankle injury is a lot worse than we thought. We're thinking a little rest on it, maybe miss 1 week, back the next week, but he must have really pulled a number on that ankle. But let's just go right into C.J. Stroud. We'll do that. Let's see. Run this thing down. Who's that? The special teams coach? Let's put it somewhere around. Guess that's good enough.
I wouldn't say that. We trust him if we are in that position, but we try to put him in the best opportunity possible. Especially, I hold myself, to a high standard when it comes to that. And that intentional grind was, I have no idea why I get it, I guess. I mean, that wasn't necessarily abrupt. Like, I don't think it was that aggressive that I didn't throw it to anybody. But at the same time, I do understand.
That is true because it had a guy out there.
Did a great job.
But that basically just saying he just threw an errant throw, just trying to get rid of it. But he did have a receiver in the area.
I thought that was huge, man. So it's not all about, one thing about me, I don't try to ride the roller coaster. I know everybody was coming to me trying to juice me up, but honestly, I just try to stay calm, know that I made a mistake. But it doesn't make me. I thought I played really solid other than those 2 plays. But when you got guys to lean on, like we talked about earlier in the week, just playing complimentary football, Kaimi had my back. The defense had my back. My O-line had my back. Everybody had everybody's back. We had the defense back in the first half. We all play complimentary football, and a lot of great things are going to happen for this team.
No need for the second half. This might be a very simple question, but what exactly does this offense lose when he then exits the game?
I think he's the best receiver in football, so.
Is it a little dark?
He gets out the game. It definitely is tough
Let
on
me see
us.
something.
And a lot of things are, predicated
Is that a little better?
for him. And, I definitely do think like
A
we
little
still
bright
have a lot of other
coming
guys
in
to
my
step up
face,
too,
but
so
at least
they
it
did a
ain't
good job
too
doing
dim.
that. I thought Hutch played solid, and really, you got to just find a way to win. We did that today, so definitely hope Nico's okay, and just we can get him back as soon as possible. But I definitely know that we have a lot of depth in that room.
CJ, how does winning games like this today, games get won?
We'll end that right there. Definitely want to cut this light off. I don't like the angle that is coming in my face. So we're going to get right into this scoreboard for week 5. So let's go ahead and check that out. Turn this light off. There we go. All right, let's get into this scoreboard. Week 5 scoreboard. Matter of fact, let me put my specs on. I don't want my S's to look like Z's, and my 2's to look like 3's, and my B's to look like fleas. Okay. Buccaneers and Falcons. Falcons put up some points, 36-30, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think I got that one right, I believe. I got to go back and look at it later on. Well, Baker Mayfield was 19 for 24. He threw for 180 yards and 3 touchdown passes. What is going on with Baker Mayfield? Huh? What's going on with him? He think he's Joe Namath. Shouts out to Baker Mayfield, because I've been critical of him as well throughout the years. He found a home, a place where he feels comfortable. The team loves him, and the man is making some tight throws, big plays. Mike Evans over there. Unbelievable. So shouts out to Baker Mayfield. They lost, but looking at his numbers, played a hell of a game. Kirk Cousins, though. Kirk Cousins breaking records. 42 for 58 for 509 yards. We're talking about Kirk Cousins here. We're not talking about Patrick Mahomes. We're talking about Kirk Cousins. 42 for 58 for 509 yards. The man had 4 touchdowns. Serviceable quarterback that can win ball games for you, but lose it when it mattered the most. When you got into the playoffs, he might get you one playoff win. Possibly, maybe. That's not no guarantee. But in a regular season, he was serviceable. Like a Band-Aid. You put it on, enough to heal the wound. But eventually, that scab's going to have to come off, and it usually came off in the playoffs when it mattered the most. All right? But right now, the scab has healed. And the guy's making some big plays later on in his career. Proud of him. Good man. Look like he's spiritual. I'm all on it with Kirk Cousins. I'm a fan. I am a fan of Kirk Cousins now. No doubt about it. Whether he stay on this ship or he goes overboard. I'm going to stay with him. Because I like the man, who he is. The man is fun. He likes to play around. What about the little dance after the game? Remember that one? He's a little Kirky too. You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins, Kirky. Y'all don't get it. Y'all understand. It's levels to this. Bijan Robinson, 12 carries, 61 yards. You expect him to pretty much get 100 yards rushing every game. He's that talented. But the Bucs defense said, no, we're going to just bar you down a little bit. We're going to have Kirk Cousins win it with his arm. And what did Kirk Cousins do? He won it with his arm. Okay? Drake London. This guy is special. I enjoy Drake London. 12 catches, 154 yards, and a touchdown. This young fella has got the juice. He's got the juice. Will he do more for Atlanta than Julio Jones? Will he do more for Atlanta than Roddy White? We're going to see. I think he can. He's a hell of a talent. Love the kid. Hell of a talent. And of course, we went over Baker Mayfield. Rashad White, 10 carries, 72 yards. You got Chris Godwin, 5 catches for 64 yards. So yeah, 30-36 Falcons beat the Bucks. I'm not going to dive deep on all these teams. We'll be here for another hour or two. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to go through them, give y'all the scoreboard just in case y'all didn't watch the games, just in case y'all didn't check the ticker at the bottom of the television. I'm just going over it, let you know who won. Some of them I'll dive a little deep, but most of them we're just going to run through them real quick. On this Making It Monday. Panthers and Bears. Bears beat the Panthers 36-10. Big win for the Bears at home. I think I might have picked the Bears as well. I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't. But when I tally it up, I'm hoping I'm at least at 500. If I'm not at 500, man, what a year for me. What a year. Because what I'm going to start doing is picking the teams that don't even supposed to have a chance in these games. But can we really say it's a team out there that really don't have a chance in 2024? Considering what we already seen week 1 through 5, every team has a chance. That's what I'm looking at. Every team has a chance. It don't matter. If you haven't even won a game, you have a shot each week. Because you know what I think the mistake is? What I'm making is that I'm looking at these teams and I'm making my picks according to what happened last year. This is a whole different year. And it's a little tough because if you're going off last year, going into this year, is a total flip-flop. The teams that were damn good last year, like the Cincinnati Bengals, you think they'll come in and be undefeated at this point. They're struggling. They're struggling. They're 1-4. Huh? So yeah, teams that, like the Eagles, you thought they was going to come completely out of the gate, have it all figured out. Now, they had turmoil last year. Coming this year, you know, as Saquon Barkley and all these other things going on, you think they'll jump out of the gates running. Now the same problems are stirring back up, and now you don't know what's going on. But I'm rambling again. Let's get through these. Dolphins and Patriots. And oh yeah, Caleb Williams, shouts out to you. Caleb Williams played a hell of a game. A hell of a game. Matter of fact, I'm not deep diving, I'm just taking a peek. Caleb Williams went 20 for 29, 304 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Is that growth? Big game by him. That's all we'll look at. I don't want to hold it too long. Dolphins and Patriots. Dolphins got off the snide a little bit, 15-10. It's like a hockey game almost. But they beat the Patriots at home, 15-10. They're just trying to hold it together and, you know, figure something out until Tua gets back. That's all they're trying to do. Bills and Texans, our game we already covered. Texans beat the Bills 23-20, sitting at home. Big game, knockout, drag out, Fairbairn, game-winning field goal. That's another guy. You remember, I don't know if y'all went way back. Y'all probably didn't watch my videos from a year or whatever ago. Fairbairn, I used to be critical of Fairbairn. Fairbairn used to miss field goals, easy field goals, game-winning field goals. I used to be tough on Fairbairn. When they signed him to a new extension deal, I was like, are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? This guy was reminding me of Al Del Greco back in the day. And I know y'all remember him. Only if you're 40 and above right now, y'all probably remember Al Del Greco. But he was missing a whole lot of field goals to start. Now the guy's clutch. He's kicking his ass off. Shots out to him. Fairbairn, you the man. You the man. Keep kicking that ball like that. Raiders and Broncos. Broncos beat the Raiders 34-18. Broncos. Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. Didn't like him too much in college because he looked like he was just a little arrogant. I don't know, maybe because Colorado Buffaloes played against him and all this other stuff. But I like Bo Nix in the NFL. We'll just keep it that way. Rooting for Bo Nix. Broncos needed a quarterback, okay? Because I don't think they really had a quarterback until they got a refurbished Peyton Manning, okay? Refurbished Peyton Manning. So Bo Nix, Go for it. Try to get yourself in the playoffs. Giants and Seahawks. Giants beat the Seahawks 29-20. That was a shocker for me. Seahawks at home too. Oh my goodness, man. Told you this week here, I'm coming in a whole different strategy with my picks. Ain't no way I'm picking teams that look like they supposed to win. I'm picking teams that look like they can't win. Cowboys and Steelers. Sunday night game, 20-17. Steelers at home. They went into the steel curtain. Cowboys went into the steel curtain and pulled this game out. Knock out, drag out. But shouts out to you. Cowboys know they needed it. Cowboy fans needed it. But they can continue to chirp. Continue to chirp. But, we'll see how long it lasts, though. But that was a big win. Going that steel curtain, pulling one out in the rain. What we got? Jets and Vikings. Oh, man. Poor Aaron Rodgers, man. Vikings beat the Jets 23-17. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, man. Is Aaron Rodgers going to make it? Don't Aaron Rodgers remind you of an uncle that seemed like he don't have much time left? His days are numbered. You can just see him going down and down every time you see him. That's what Aaron Rodgers reminds me of. And you want this guy to leave the game with some sort of dignity, where you think he left the game and he still had a little bit left, still clutch. He's getting knocked around, and the man's bones ain't as strong as it used to be. It's almost like a grandpa out there. I just hope he can make it out of this season healthy, at least battling for a playoff spot. I would love to see him in there. Much respect for Aaron Rodgers. He's a hell of a quarterback. I expected more early. Maybe we'll get it late. I don't know. But right now, they don't have no chemistry. They don't have anything going on. They're all over the place. But Robert Saleh, he is good as bye-bye. And he should be good as bye-bye. Okay? He should be gone. Matter of fact, just put Aaron Rodgers as the head coach after this season. I think they'll do better that way. But yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers, hard to see him in this light right now. He's going to have to figure it out. I know he's frustrated, but they have time to turn it around. All right, this is week 5. You have time to turn it around. Browns and Commanders. Commanders beat the Browns 34-13. I've seen that one coming. But the whole world seen that one coming, right? Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars beat the Colts 37-34. High scoring game. Glad old Jeremy Lawrence got off the snide. That team there, possibly, they're going to have to continue to turn it around. Because old Peterson, they could fire you. They will let you go, depending on how this season continues to spiral. If y'all pick it up, start winning games, it could save your job. But I'm telling you, I think Peterson is on the hot seat, even though, didn't they just give him a contract extension or something like that? I got to go back and look at it. It's possible. If they gave him a contract extension, are they willing to go through the bad times with him? And if they did give him an extension or a new contract, they won't fire him after this season. I have to take that back because I almost forgot about that extension or whatever. I'm not sure. I got to go back and look at it, but I believe they gave this guy an extension or a new contract or something like that. But if they did, they will sit on him for at least another year or two. And then they'll just rip that up and say, hey, we're going to eat the money. We just want him out of here. So we're going to figure that out. But yeah, Peterson don't mean, hey, everybody can be on the menu. Everybody can be on the menu. Nobody's safe in the NFL. And what the NFL stand for? Not for long.
Oh, that's not good.
Ravens and Bengals. Oh, man. Joe Burrow. That game was right there to be had. Right there. Basically, the Ravens was hand gifting it to them. Hand gifting it to them. And the guy went up there and he missed a field goal, which it happens. It happens. But the whole time I'm thinking in my mind with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, like I always state, it seems like something always gets in his way. He got off the snide this time. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are seeing what I'm talking about with Lamar Jackson. A fumble or something happens where the game is on the line and they just find a way to lose it, or it's a Lamar Jackson interception, or it's a Lamar Jackson fumble. Something happens. He plays very good leading up to some tragedy. And this game here was about to be tragedy for the Baltimore Ravens. Guy missed the field goal. They get second chance at life. They took advantage of it and won the game. So these are small stepping stones for Lamar Jackson, because it seems like every time we get into a meaningful game, or when it gets crunch time, start tightening up a little bit, something happens with him. It almost happened in this game. It actually did happen, but they was able to slip by it. So if he can come out of more games like this, then he can meet a Patrick Mahomes head to head and possibly come out victorious. Who knows? But he has to get over these type of mistakes first. And luckily the Bengals gifted it to him. Because that guy just kicks that field goal and makes it. It's a whole different storyline here. We're talking about Lamar Jackson, how great he played. But it seems like when it gets down to the end, nut-cutting time, there's a mistake that's there that cost them the game. Don't have to worry about that because they won it. Okay? All right. Cardinals and 49ers. Cardinals beat the 49ers 24-23. That was a semi-shock there, but they hung around long enough and was able to pull it out. 49ers, man, I don't know. Everybody's thinking they going back to the Super Bowl, but they come in this season getting off to a slow start. They just don't look right. You can call it the injuries or whatever have you, but they do not look right. And a lot of these veteran ball clubs, they're going to have to pick it up late. Some teams can. Some teams don't. But I'm counting on the 49ers to pick it up later on, gain some steam, get back to respectability where these teams looking at them like, okay, if we don't come with our A game, this team is going to wipe us out. Right now, you can't look at the 49ers like that. They're all over the place. Nothing's consistent. When they win, it's like they just barely snuck it out. So they got to get back on pace. Packers and Rams. Packers beat the Rams 24-19. Got to go back and look at that one. That pick. Because I don't know. Did I go with the Rams? 49ers. What happened in that one? Jordan Love, 15 for 26, 224 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. Matthew Stafford, 29 for 45, 260 yards, 1 touchdown pass, and 1 interception himself. So not bad. They played decent, all right. I say Jordan Love coming off that little injury, whatever you want to call it, knee sprain, ankle sprain. 15 for 26, that's not bad. 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Won the game. Won the game on the road. So they're 3-2, and Rams are 1-4. So Rams, they're in trouble as well. McVay. Is McVay on the hot seat? Is McVay on the hot seat? Possibly. Possibly. And then we look into tonight on Monday Night Football. It is a doozy. Make sure you tune in. Saints and Chiefs. A big game for the Saints. Of course, every game is big for the Chiefs. They have leadway, so to speak. But if the Saints can go down in Arrowhead and pull this one off, which I'm counting on, that's one of my picks. So to speak, an upset if you want to call it. If the Saints can do it, it'd be huge for them. But we all know Chiefs is not no easy match. They got to come in and play their A game. So y'all tune into that on Monday Night Football. So we covered it. Texans got them a win. Almost kind of slipped away from them, but a big game against the Bills. Used to be an old school rivalry when they was in a division. Buffalo Bills used to get the best of the Houston Oilers back then. But the Texans trying to reignite that and get the better end of the deal in 2024. So huge win for the Houston Texans. That's what I'm talking about. We can win ugly, you can win sloppy, you can win pretty, you can win undisciplined, still pull out wins. They don't want to do that every week though. But I'm saying when it happens, just come out on the better end of it. And they're doing that right now. So shout out to them. And the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cowboys, big rivalry. Way back in 1970s, these teams been battling for a long time. I would have loved the Steelers to come out on the good end of that, but they didn't. So you got to give the Cowboys their due, and they needed it bad. Okay, they needed it real bad, and they got it. So Cowboy fans, y'all live to see another week. Enjoy it, but you got to be back on that train again next week. So the pressure is not off. Okay? So y'all enjoy yourselves. And like I say, this is Making It Monday. Shouts out again to all the new subscribers. I appreciate it. You have no idea. We're slowly ticking it up. It's not by the thousands, but every little stone gets us a little bit closer. So I appreciate it. And remember, if you want to support the channel, support me, you don't have to open up your pocketbook. At least not yet. I'm just joking with you. Trust me, I'm just messing with y'all. But the way you support is with the like, with the subscribe, with the share, with the commenting. Y'all know how this go. But until then, it's GSQH Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. This is Making It Monday. Enjoy y'all day. And we'll be back here again. I'm pretty sure we will. I'm out of here. Peace.